Right, I am very on fire. By not setting targets, I'm reaching my targets. I am. I'm even about to go to the gym. Um, I've had 2 meals. I'm going to have another protein shake because I'm still a little bit hungry after lunch, which is fabulous. Which is fabulous. And I'm going to cycle because it's still a lovely day. That does make a difference. It's like I'm just going to take the pain. It just means I'm going to cycle, and on the way back, it's going to be a slow bike ride, and it's going to fucking hurt. I've actually got some painkillers over there. I'll take a prophylactic. Yeah. But I'm actually in the mood. It's like because I've got so much else done. So I'm sorry scaring you there, Gizmo, with my little hand clappity little fucking situation going on. All right, he's not dead. He thought he was going to be dead, as most cats do. Think nearly everything is about to kill them, don't you? But yeah, it's how I'm living, man. It's how I'm living. You've got to seize those opportunities when everything suddenly goes click-tickle together. And I functioned. And, I was down the laundrette. I was chatting to the laundrette dude. And he was talking about the sizes of different pumps and the fact that he's built a new drain assembly at the back of one shit like that. Thinking, fucking hell, some of the shit that people know about is incredible. But I was chatting to him. It's just, I don't feel out of place when I walk in the world. And there's a massive difference to that. This is the point I keep stressing about, I don't know if I'm supposed to be here. And it's like, I'm trying to put words to a ghostly phenomenon that occurs and robs me of my ability to function correctly. Is one way of putting it. But there you go. That's what's going on. But it's like it's a positive day. It's a positive step. I'm still in the healing mindset. I'm going to have made lots of achievements today that I can look back on and go, this morning that job wasn't done, tonight it is. It's because I functioned that it happened. And, I will stay at this basic level for as long as I fucking need to, motherfucker. I really will. Because, by expecting only the basic littles of myself, somehow I was still expecting too much of myself. And I know that I've only ever heard this sort of thinking from people who have suffered with long-term depression or people who know how to treat people with long-term depression. Not the people who think that they talked themselves out of their depression because they weren't actually suffering from the same thing. They just thought they were. Because if they're able to talk themselves out of it with a sentence, they ain't got what I got. Whatever it's fucking called. Whatever fucking name it is. And, that is part of the fucking, I suppose, like, being true to yourself and whatever is, I'm existing at a very basic level and barely managing that. And when I stop existing at that level, I feel like a slob and a lazy, dirty, filthy fucking waste of fucking space, and I don't want you to look at me. That's how close I am to feeling terrible. But, I can keep myself away from it. I can keep myself away from it and just believe that everything can change and everything can happen. Everything can get better. Everything is getting better. Everything is improving. It's up and downical. That's fine. It's often down and downical, and then further downical, and after some more downical, there's another downical, until the amount of downical becomes a ridiculousness of sorts. What was that about, Giz? Did you see that? Sorry. Fucking sorry. What did you limbo me? If you're going to limbo, do it properly. You're supposed to go over backwards, you can't. Fucking stupid backwards knees. That's what that is, isn't it? You've got stupid backwards knees, haven't you? Backward kneed weirdo. Pointy ears. Yeah. That's the biological name for a cat. A backward kneed weirdo with pointy ears. But no, this is actually quite fabulous. I'm enjoying that. Like I said, there's an atmosphere to today of just half decent. There's one of those birds. Can you hear it? It sounds like a squeaky wheel. That's one of those sounds. That one, and the plane droning lazily overhead. You know that. It really makes me feel peaceful, that sound, when it's a still sunny day and you just hear that sound. Or the little squeaky wheel bird. Beep, 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 beep. I hope he comes through on this video. I really do. I'm going to see if I can see him and see if it's the same one that comes every day. I bet it is. I bet it's the same one that sits in the same spot. I like that, don't they, birds? You want to go and eat him, don't you? Go and murder him, you vile, murderous bastard. Cats are killing machines. Never forget this. But yeah, like, I suppose a lot of this is, you know, a lot of this is me still feeling like I need to fucking justify it all the time and fucking show that I'm not talking shit. But it's because so many times when I just try and normalise this, it's seen as nothing. And I often normalise it because people are so fucking squeamish about talking about mental health issues. So I throw it at them because I'm a belligerent cunt. You know what I mean? But like quite often, if people say, "What are you up to today?" and I'm seeing my support worker, I'll tell them. And it's actually partially hilarious sometimes to see the fucking response. I think, yeah, malfunction, does not compute. Do not know what to say. There is not a pre-scripted fucking societal phrase for this. You fucking robot. But that's a lot of what needs to change, is people get really squeamish and weird about it. Because like I say, so much of mental health exists in society as a ridiculousness. I mean, yeah, I'm like, of course I'm guilty of it. I grew up going, "Ugh," to people, we all did. Have you ever done that when you do a full, like, like you used to do as a kid? Like, you actually kind of go, whoo, the energy comes out after one of them, let me tell you. But, you know, everyone does, but like, think about what you're actually doing an impression of. Think what you're actually doing an impression of. And, you know, needy cunt, desperately lonely person, creepy weirdo, very psychologically damaged, cannot interpret the world, paranoid prick, petrified, abused, damaged from it. It's nothing to do with what happened, really. It's nothing to do with the people that did it. There's a bullet wound and a gun. Those people are left with the bullet wound. Stop talking about the gun. The gun's done its damage. The gun has done its damage. But it wasn't really a gun if you look at it like this. But the damage is still there. It still exists and is continuing to exist. But I think the gun wasn't a gun. If you look and really analyse what you're saying the gun is, and we can declare it not a gun, as long as you perceive it not to be a gun. Therefore, there shouldn't have been a wound if it wasn't a gun. The damage is still there. That's why I make my analogy of bullet wounds and fucking guns. And it makes sense to me, and I think it will make sense to other people. I hope it will make sense to other people. Because otherwise there's no fucking point saying it. But it's the truth. It is the truth. So many people go straight to the gun. Let's analyse the gun. Let's look at what the gun was. And they forget that, you know, that's that whole thing with blaming. When people say, this happened to me, that happened to me. And people go, so? That happened years ago. You can't carry that. It's like, they're not. They're living with the damage that it caused. That's why they're screaming, this happened to me, because they're trying to show you, because they have experience of when that happens and how it changed them and how things don't make sense anymore. They're talking about the damage that happened. They're not really talking about the act that took place or the ongoing acts that took place to damage them that way. They're on about the fact that they're living with the damage, even knowing what caused it, even knowing that rationally they can view it differently and see that it wasn't as terrible as it might have seemed at the time, but yet the damage is still there. Damage doesn't just disappear because you've re-rationalised the gun. Does that make sense? Because that's why I keep talking about bullet wounds and guns. And a lot of the time when I'm trying to talk about the bullet wound, you think I'm talking about the gun. And we always discuss the gun. And if I point out that you've got that bit wrong, now I think you don't care. And we end up there. I never get to talk about the wound. We always talk about the gun, or the fact that now you think I don't care. I think that you don't care. It's bizarre to me, but it happens way too often for me to think that this is just some, I don't know, weirdity. It's part of, you know, my my main issue is an inability or difficulty to interpret the world around me. But the world around me can't interpret me, and I can see that too. just up the shop just now, I asked about the salmon and egg sandwich. I bought one last week. And the bloke went, "No, you didn't." What? You went, "No, you didn't buy it." I went, "I did." "No, you didn't." And he was being really cocky and smiling, not really, "No, you bloody that." I suddenly went right off the cunt. He used to be nice and friendly, and I was thinking, don't fucking speak to me like that. And his colleague noticed it. She was serving me. And I said, "Well, all I'm saying is I did." And she was like, "Yeah, you might have done." I was like, "Well, look, if you can get them, can you ask the manager? Because if you get them, I'll buy them." So she went, "Yeah, let me ask the manager." And then she had a little word to me, and she's not the lady I had the long chat with, but she's a friend of hers, and they both of them are like, they're nice. They notify my difference in a kind of caring way. They're quite gentle. I noticed that they changed the way they talk to me, but they're understanding people. And she actually said, "Are you all right?" And I said, "Not really." And she said, "He didn't need to argue with you like that." I said, she went and found out, and she said it was not a line, a play, jump. It was a word I didn't really make sense to me. But she said it was one that they tried last week. And I said, "It was last week that I bought it." She said, "Yeah, they're not doing it anymore." And I was saying, "What, are you saying that Co-op as a thing isn't doing it, or this Co-op isn't ordering them for this branch?" And she went, "I don't think the Co-op are doing them, but do look out for them because they might do them again." Thank you. It's reality. And like, I remember saying to her, it's like, Jesus, that was hard. It's like, my main problem is when I start to not be able to interpret the world around me. And then when some dickhead that wasn't fucking there starts telling me that he definitely knows I didn't buy a fucking sandwich that I'd fucking eaten, it was setting me off. It was fucking setting me off. Looking at him, I was burning. I was thinking, don't you fucking speak to me like that, because I was getting fucking defensive because my reality was being fucking questioned again. And again, that's how fucking sensitive this shit is. You've only got to be a fucking cocky little know-it-all like him. I'm not speaking to him again. Unless he fucking apologises to me. That was out of order. And fucking tell me that something didn't happen, you dick. It's because you think you know your problem. Nah, you wouldn't have bought that here. No, we don't do it. We don't do it. Cackling away like that, like he was so fucking certain of something. I wanted to destroy him. Maybe next time I will. No, I won't. But that is a kind of like, I need to watch for those situations and think, right, walk away, do something different. Luckily, his colleague had noticed that he was being a bit of a dick about it because she was kind of eye-rolling at him. So hopefully she gave him a fucking bollocking after I'd gone, because he deserved one, the little dickhead. But yeah, I could easily see in those situations how in a worse situation I could end up battering someone over a fucking sandwich that happened. And he tried to tell me, "What are you here for, mate?" "For GBH." "Yeah, what happened?" "Someone tried to tell me a sandwich didn't happen." Cunt. Fuck me, he tried to tell you a sandwich didn't happen. Fucking surprised you didn't kill him. "Oh no, mate, they had to pull me off of him." I'm not fucking surprised. Don't tell me sandwiches don't happen, alright?